see if that makes it better. People are saying that it's kind of like staticky.
Yeah, because I think that's because we speak loud. Part of it, I think, is because we speak loud. But if it's a way you can tune it down, like when it picks up the volume, if it's a way you can tune it down, so it don't pick everything up, I guess.
Right.
If that's possible, but yeah, I've noticed that's why I'm trying to lower my voice. You sound better.
Kind of calm. Because that is sometimes the case, and I think because of the mic too.
Yeah.
The mic didn't help.
Yeah, I was gonna say something to you about it 2 weeks ago, but it slipped my mind. I was dealing with this getting Captain Kapasha about these the banner,
right?
And trying to go to. Are we ready to go? Wrap it up. Alright, Shalom, Yahweh Bashim Yahshua Fam, Yahweh Shamar, Lathan Bahashim Yahushua. This is the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We are not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite groups, any church, anything outside of 1 West. It's not the truth, and we are not affiliated with it. We are all under command of General Yohana. We've been teaching since 1969 that the Jews are black, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We're the real Jews the Bible speaks of, the Israelites of the Bible, you understand? And that if we obey the Most High God, our power, the God of the Bible, then of course the water, then we will be saved from the hell that we live in, right? The condition of hell that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, so-called Native Indians live in is just absolutely horrendous. It'll make you cry, like you'll be moved to tears going to any ghetto. The way we grew up, you understand, on the reservation, in the barrio, in the ghettos, in the hoods, like in the projects, like that's not normal. You understand? It's not normal how we grew up, but of course, we teach in the UPK that if so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians were serious about our salvation, right, about our black king named Christ coming to save us, then we, of course, would turn back to the Lord's law, statutes, commandments. All right, tonight our topic is going to be about why we should not be joining the nation's military, America's military force or police force or, militias, and we should not be joining that if you're a so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. All right, that is unlawful. Furthermore, it proves that you have the mark of the beast. To have the mark of the beast is joining your oppressor's military. Right. You understand? If you're in your oppressor's military right now, call this school. You understand? Call the Virginia school in specific because, of course, here in Virginia, this is where the largest naval base is. And brothers in this school have been in Esau's military, our oppressor's military, just like myself, just like Priest and Officer Urash. You understand? Some of our ribs and things like that have been in Esau's military. We know a lot about how to get out of Esau's military based on your beliefs. You understand? Myself, sister that was in the truth. You understand? We knew how to maneuver. You understand? Legally how to maneuver. Still get your benefits. Still get the GI Bill. Still get all your health care benefits up to 6 months when you get out. You still get all the benefits. You won't have to go to court, not court-martial, but you won't have to, even court-martial, but you won't have to go on restriction like how I did just to get out. You understand? We know how to maneuver the system. If you're in Esau's military, whether it be the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, the Coast Guard, or the police force, or the FBI, you understand? You understand? We know how to maneuver through the system and get out. Just contact the school. Make sure you're checking in on Facebook, on YouTube, on all of the social media platforms. Make sure you're checking in. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get into the topic. All right, first give me Proverbs chapter 3, verse 31. You understand? But of course, being Esau's military, again, like I said, and this is going to be found in Revelations, the mark of the beast, Christians believe the mark of the beast is what do Christians believe? I don't even know what Christians believe the mark of the beast is. They believe it's a number, but they also believe it's something spooky.
A microchip.
And microchip. Christians, and fake Israelites, the majority of fake Israelites believe that, which are Christians. So you're right. But they believe in microchips, they believe in the vaccines.
Right.
They believe everything other than what the Bible says the mark of the beast is the mark of the beast, right? To have the mark of the beast is being in Esau's military. Why? Because you're killing for your oppressor. And we know that all too well down here in Virginia school, to kill for your oppressor in their deployments.
Right.
And you spending 7-8 months away from your family, years at a time away from your family, murdering for the beast. Right. The beast is our oppressor, the white man, the so-called white man, Esau. He is the beast, according to the Bible. He's that serpent. He's the devil. He's that old serpent. And he was the snake that beguiled Eve in the garden. Our oppressor. Donald Trump, George Washington, John Jay, Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, Andrew Hamilton. Just name them. All of the founding fathers of this country. Every last one of them were rapists. Every last one of them were child smugglers, were people smugglers, were human traffickers, murderers, thugs, gang bangers. That is the beast right there. Right. The white man, our oppressor, he's the beast. When you join his military force, when you join his police force, when we join his might, his military might, become a pilot in his military, go be a Navy SEAL, a SWIC, a SARC, a Army Green Beret, a Marine Recon, Force Recon, MARSOC. When you join their programs, you now have taken on the mark that he has. You now have taken on the mark of the beast, man. And the scripture says that you should not take the mark of the beast. Why? Because then you are doomed. You get my point? You following after their ideology. You're following after our oppressors' logic, which is to murder everybody. To kill and murder everybody on the earth that does not accept the American way. That's why they're over in the Middle East. That's why America fought every war. Because if you are not down with America, you are going to be killed. Right? America is there. They have their own God. If you're so-called black, Hispanic, and Indian, you have your own God. We have our own God. And that's the God of the Bible, who our oppressor does not believe in. Our oppressor does not believe in the God of the Bible, contrary to popular belief. Right. Our oppressor does not follow the God of the Bible. Or else they wouldn't have never been the biggest rapists on the earth. Or else they wouldn't have been the biggest murderers and thieves and liars and deceivers on the earth. All right? So to be in our oppressor's military is to have the mark of the beast. That is unlawful. You understand? It is ungodly. That is anti-Christ to have the mark of the beast, to be in Esau's military. Of course, if you're joining in, you watching this, if you or your loved ones are in Esau's military and you never knew this, well, now you know. So now you are held responsible for being in all oppressor's military. Is it a job like any other job? Sure. Sure. But there's other ways to feed your family. Right. You don't have to sell out for a GI Bill. That when you finally get out Esau's military, you realize just how much chump change the GI Bill is. Like, you fought in his wars, you fought in you risked your life, you risked the time away from your family to be in our oppressor's military, to fight on his police force, to be in his FBI, to be a CIA analyst, to be a CIA spy. You risk time in your years, precious youth years, to be in our oppressor's military just to get $1,000 a month when you get out. For them to pay for 95% of your school, because here's something that also black people don't understand. Black people love to use that, well, I'm joining the military, I ain't trying to fight for him, but I do. This is what they say, Raj. I ain't trying to join the military to fight. I don't care about America. I'm just joining to get the benefits. The benefits are horrible. You have a better chance of going to be an electrician or a plumber or some skilled trade or to be a doctor or a lawyer than you would to get anything that you think are benefits in our oppressor's military. Am I lying, Yarash? No. We know that these benefits are, this brother's a licensed electrician. The benefits and pay are better now that we have, drove trucks, going to be a diesel mechanic, and the pay and the benefits are better than the expenses that than the lifestyle you live in your oppressor's military. You understand? Like, black people think, well, I'm going just to get the benefits, brother. You still have to pay for some of your books in college. When you go to school, you still, once you get out, you don't have 100% health care for the rest of your life. At some point, that cuts off. At some point, those benefits will cut out. You understand? Because most Jakes only doing 4 or 5. They only doing their first year contract, which is their first contract, which is 3 to 4 to 5 years. First, before you even think about re-enlisting, Jake trying to get out just to get those benefits. Listen, those benefits are absolutely horrible, and it is a spit in the face, if I could be quite frank. To receive the benefits in our oppressors' military for people who have risked their lives, lost limbs, lost eyesight, lost hearing. Brothers can't even hear now from doing the jobs that our oppressors required us to do in Esau's military. And they spit in your face and give you what? $2,000 a month, $1,500 a month. Right. You should be getting $10,000 a month, $15,000 a month. You know how those same weapons that we fired in Esau's military, guess how much it costs just to shoot one round of a 10 milliliter bullet? Just to think how much a JDAM costs. A F-16 Hornet, a F-18, a C-2 Hawkeye. You know how much they cost? You know how much an aircraft carrier costs? You should be getting $15,000 for the rest of your life. Right. America can afford it. America can afford it. But because we served this devil, our oppressor, man, they shortchange us. They spit in our face with $1,000. If you go to school, if you don't go to school, you're not getting benefits. Right. You barely get benefits if you go to school when you get out. So it's useless. I'm tired of hearing that from blacks and Hispanics. I'm joining because of the benefits. You go and get a trade. Go be a doctor, go be a lawyer, go be a scientist, go be a nuclear physicist. Go do something other than join the oppressors. Go work at Home Depot. You get the same pay working at Home Depot as you do a cop. Same pay. You're a manager at Home Depot. Go look this up. If you're a manager at Home Depot, you get what, $18 an hour? Well, guess how much a first year cop makes? He makes about $15 to $18 an hour. The only difference is the benefits. That's it. You're making the same as you do going to work at Home Depot, man. Right. So what the hell are you doing it? The reason you're doing it is not because of no damn benefits. The reason is because we are raised to be Christian. And you believe that you are American. That's why we join our oppressors' military. I know that's why I joined Urash. Right. I damn didn't think about no benefits. They were in my mind, but I wasn't thinking about that as my sole purpose of joining. I wanted to kill for this devil since I was 6 years old. Right. Growing up watching Jarhead, Platoon, I wanted to be a Marine Scout sniper. Right. I wanted to be in something that I could just kill for this devil. That is satanic. That is wicked. I was also raised Christian, very Christian. And that's the reason why I had aspirations to join our oppressors' military. Right. The greatest military on the face of the earth, that's why. Because deep down, we really truly believe that we're American. Because of Dr. King, because of Kenny Alexander, and what's that old brother's name? Ben Carson, Jesse Jackson, and Al Sharpton. They make us believe, our pastors make us believe that we're American. Because we're Christian, we think that we're American. We're not American, man. We are captives in this land. This is not our rest. Right. We have no business joining our oppressors' military. First off, because not only is it the mark of the beast, right. Not only are you murdering for your oppressor, the same devil that murders and oppresses you and your people and our people, but also because, man, look at the benefit. I mean, look at the ends that don't justify the means. Right. Look at what you're doing for the chump change that you will get. Right. When you're in there, you don't get paid anything. When you get out, you don't get benefits. Right. And you risk your life for that. You risk your limbs for that. Like, think about how idiotic you have to be to join our oppressors' military. Think about what you're risking for the little reward that you receive back, if any. Right. Like, that is what we do when we join our oppressors' military. And it is absolutely disgraceful in the sight of our power in the Bible. The God of the Bible, he hates the fact that we join our oppressors' military. It angers the Lord when we do it, man. It is absolutely unlawful, and it is absolutely disgraceful in the sight of God to murder for your oppressor. That is disgusting, man. Right. Because the Lord wants to murder our oppressor. He wants to give us justice. Right. But how could he if we're fighting the same enemy our oppressor fights? How is that possible? Right. How could you fight the same? That's your enemy. Donald Trump is not your friend. He's not your ally. He's an American. You're not. Right. You get my point? The Hispanics are trying to fight to get over to this country. He said they're all rapists. He keep them building the wall to keep them out. Like, how are you going to fight for the same people that's your enemy? That's your enemy right there. That's who you should be fighting against, is your oppressor. That's who you should be fighting. That's who you should be not wanting to join. Just like you don't want to join those Arabs in the Middle East because they bombed America, don't join the Americans that bombed Philadelphia, that bombed Tulsa, Oklahoma, that murdered thousands and hundreds of millions of Negroes and Hispanics and Native Indians. Don't join those people because they are our enemy, man. Just like the Middle Eastern, the Arabs are America's enemy. America is our enemy, and we have no business joining them. Read what you got out.
Come on, sir. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor.
What did the Bible say?
Envy thou not the oppressor.
Read that again.
Envy thou not the oppressor.
The Bible says, don't envy our oppressor. What does it mean to envy? You want what they have.
Right.
And because we grow up Christian, because we grow up loving America, because we grow up Rainbow Coalition integrated with our enemy and our oppressor, we want the Lamborghinis, we want the Maseratis, we want the big houses, we want the might that comes with being an American. Like, brother, you go to any country, you say you're American, that means you're untouchable.
Right.
I'm not making this up. Me and his brother have been all over the country, all over the world.
Right.
We've been to the Middle East, we've been to Europe, we've been all over the earth.
Right.
And anywhere you go, Ak, you are untouchable, because if you say you're American, that means they can't do nothing to you. Go ask Isupk Rocky.
Right.
Go ask that old devil swimmer, Ryan Lochte, who went down to the Olympics a few years ago in Brazil, who urinated on and bust the windows out of some store, some Brazilian store down there in the ghetto. Urinated and lied and said, I ain't do nothing. They had film footage of him doing it, had his face, and he said, I ain't do it. But then he came back and recanted his statement and said, I'm sorry, and nothing happened to him. Why? Because he's an American.
Right.
Isupk Rocky, nothing happened to him. Why? Because he's an American. You're an American in any country, I mean, you're untouchable. And growing up, brother, you would envy that, because, of course, when you just some Negro in the ghetto or some Hispanic on the border trying to get into this country, when you're some Native Indian on the reservation, you look at the military, you see all the commercials of the Marines in their dress blues. You see the commercials for all of the ships that the Navy has, all of the fleet of ships they have, the mightiest Navy on the earth. There's not a Navy on the earth that touches America's Navy. There's not a Navy on the earth that touches their Navy. They don't have as many carriers. Nobody has as many submarines, as many carriers, spend as much military spending as America spends. And you grow up looking at that, man, and you say, man, listen, I want to go there to learn how to fight. I want to go there to learn how to protect and defend myself. I want to be a soldier in America's Army. I want to be a Marine in their Marine Corps. I want to go learn how to do these things. I know how to shoot with weapons and guns and do all the killing they do and look at all the fun. They make it look fun. I've seen thousands of commercials after I came into the truth. And I just sat there and thought, I said, man, like this, it seems good. Like when you look at all the jobs they have, they don't show the other side.
Right.
They show you glorified in your uniform. You come home in your uniform, you're praised. Right. You get discounts and benefits and movie theater discounts, and women want to have sex with you, and you got on this nice uniform, and you look at that and you say, man, I want to do that. That's what I want to do. But what did the Bible say?
Envy thou not the oppressor.
The Bible say don't do that, man.
That's right.
Don't envy your oppressor. Don't look at what he has and say, I want to do what he does. I want to get how he gets. You too wild about. I want to do what he does. I want to get what he has. Don't do that. Why? Because when you envy somebody, when you envy your oppressor, you're going to break the laws of God, break the commandments of the Most High God in order to get it. And that's what it means to be in America's military. When you're in America's military, you're breaking the laws of God.
Right.
You have the mark of the beast.
That's right.
It's in your head. You believe in the same philosophy America believes in. Why? Because you envy them.
Right.
You want to be like them. The Bible says don't do that. Don't envy your oppressor. Don't look at all of the uniforms they have and all of the women they get in those bars and the benefits and discounts they get in movie theaters and say, I want to do that. Nah, you know who else gets benefits in movie theaters and discounts in stores? Students that go to colleges. Full-time academic students that go to a college or university gets benefits.
Right.
You can go to school too, you know that, don't you?
Right.
You can put your head in books and learn something and get academic scholarships, academic and sports scholarships to go to a college and get the same treatment.
Right.
You can get 10-15% off at the movie theater if you show your ID that you go to a school. You can get clothing discounts at clothing stores like Old Navy, just like you could in the military. But you think the military is so wonderful and so great and the might that comes with it, man. And you see and you hear all of the stats and all of the facts how America's the mightiest military. The aerial prowess. You just look at that, the best pilots in the world. You look at all that, man, and you just get caught up in that and get caught up in the glitz and glamour. But what you don't see is men losing their lives out there for this country who never gave a damn about them. What you don't see is men losing limbs, men losing eyesight, hearing, going crazy, having PTSD. Their women having sex with other men, whoring on them while they're away on deployment. Not being able to see your child being born because you're on deployment. Hearing about a family member dying on deployment, and you cannot go, brother. I had a man, I worked with this Hispanic brother. He was younger than me. He had a daughter that was about 12 months old. She died while we were on deployment. The Navy told him he cannot go because we're on deployment. And he could not go see his dead daughter. Now, you don't see that part in those glorious commercials. You see the glory and the glitz and the glamour. You don't see that a man can't go see his dead daughter be buried. He can't go bury his daughter who's dead, who died, because he has to fight for a nation that says his people are rapists and murderers. And that keeps him out of a country that once belonged to his people. Now, that's what you want to do. That is absolutely disgusting, man. That is horrible. Like, to see that, it almost moved me to tears. Like, I remember looking at that and listening to him, and I said, damn, like, that's just horrible. And it made me rethink. It made me say, this is something that I don't want to do. Right. You keep a man from seeing his dead daughter and burying his daughter who's dead, that's horrible. Right. But that's what happens when you join America's military. Right. When you join their police force, when you join their military forces, that's what happens. Right. Keep going.
And choose none of his ways.
So like this juice the wild about the water.
So you know
this thing good, boy. All right, read that again, so like it.
And choose none of his ways.
Read it again from the top.
And be thou not the oppressor. And choose none of his ways.
The Bible says don't choose any of his ways.
That's right.
Don't choose what?
None of his ways.
The police force.
None of his ways.
The military.
None of his ways.
The Navy.
None of his ways.
The Marine Corps.
None of his ways.
The CIA.
None of his ways.
The FBI.
None of his ways.
The Bible says don't choose any of his ways, man.
That's right.
To vote, to Christmas, the celebration of Thanksgiving.
That's right.
4th of July. What's 4th of July? Celebrating the independence of America.
Right.
Where were blacks and Hispanics doing, and Native Indians during the 4th of July, 1776? We were on plantations and reservations, right, picking cotton, right, getting raped and beat and whipped with 40 lashes, while they said all men are created equal, right, and they got their independence, right, from the British. Right. We were on plantations as considered livestock, if not less than livestock. So what are you celebrating 4th of July? Popping fireworks, giving honor to another god. Right. Like, what are we doing, man? The Bible says choose none of their ways. That's right. The brother said that he volunteered at the VA, the Veterans Affairs Hospital. He said it was so sad. Damn right, it is sad. It's sad to see the way America takes care of their fallen soldiers. Right. Their heroes, men that have died and fought wars for them. It's sad to see the mistreatment, how they are treated in America, man. Right. It is absolutely horrible. There's a story of some brother. It's like 6 or 7 of them. There's 7 brothers from the tribe of Isupk, the so-called Mexicans, that fought in the Marine Corps, fought wars for America, and they got deported. They were deported. They fought wars for this country, and they were deported. Meaning what? They don't get the benefits that comes with being a veteran. They don't get any of the housing benefits, the medical benefits, the schooling benefits. Right. Because they are legal citizens after they fought wars and risked their lives and time from their families, from their to fight for America. Right. That is absolutely sad. In fact, give me that one. Give me Ecclesiasticus. Is it any more on that? Sir. Give me Ecclesiasticus 26 and 28. That's why the Bible says choose none of his ways, because America is cruel. Right. They are absolutely abusive and cruel and disgusting. and the way they treat people who have died for them, like blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, built this country and threw us away like we were trash. You should not want to fight for a nation that doesn't take care of the men that fight for them. The reason they have freedoms, the reason you have a freedom in America is because some 18-year-old kid is behind the scope of a rifle and he's defending this country. And he's going to die tonight.
Right.
And he's going to get killed. And there's going to be an IED that blows up on the side of his Humvee. And he's 18 and 19.
Right.
Just graduated high school so you could walk down the street safe. And Donald Trump can be in the White House safe.
Right.
There's airplane pilots that have to fly thousands of miles. Look up how long an fighter jet pilot's flight is. Look that up and be blown away. We know.
Right.
We know.
Right.
It's 8 to 10 hours.
Right.
That they have to fly and drop bombs on countries and get into, if they come in contact with the enemy fighter jet, they have to fight them, and that's 10 hours out.
Right.
Not go up there with no bathroom.
Right.
I'm not making this up. 8 to 10 hours. And Donald Trump in America is safe because of that, because of another man's sacrifice. And then when you get out, what happens? You don't get benefits. You get poor house. You don't get housing at all. You're homeless. You don't see all these veterans that fought that's homeless, that's smoking, that's on drugs, that's addicted to marijuana and Percocets and Mollies and crack cocaine and heroin. You know how many of those Vietnam vets came back in the 70s, messed up from the war, and then coming back and getting nothing? America is that nation that is absolutely abusive to its people, and furthermore, abusive and mistreats the people that sacrifice their life for them. Right. It is disgusting to fight in America's military.
Right.
You fight for a nation that doesn't give a damn about you, man.
That's right.
That won't take care of you. Well, let me tell you something. Commander General takes care of his soldiers.
That's right.
He takes care of the men that sacrifice their lives every day on the front line for this nation,
right.
For the nation of Israel. The nation of so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Commander General, he takes care of his men. Joe Biden can't say the same. Donald Trump can't say the same. Barack Obama can't say the same.
Right.
George Bush can't say the same. Bill Clinton can't say the same.
Right.
We fought wars for this country, have died for this country, lost limbs for this country, hearing loss, eyesight loss, brain damage, PTSD, psychological, manic depressive disorder, psychological disorders for this country, for the freedoms of this country. And how are you treated? You come back, you can't get a place to stay, poor health care. When you go to the veterans hospitals, they don't treat you the way you would at some of these other private hospitals or public general hospital. Clinics, they treat you better at a clinic than you would get treated ever at a Veterans Affairs hospital.
Right.
But yet, you want to join for the benefits. Okay, well, let's see what the Bible says. The Bible said, choose none of their ways. Don't go and join the American police force.
Right.
Don't go and join your oppressor's military force.
Right.
That is absolutely disgusting, man.
Right.
It is absolutely disgraceful. You dishonor yourself. You deserve more honor. You deserve more glory fighting for a nation who takes care of their people than for a nation who doesn't. Right. That nation is the nation of Israel and the Isupk under Commander General.
Right.
He takes care of his men. He takes care of his soldiers.
Right.
We don't go hungry. We get the best care. We get multiple wives. Ooh-wee.
Right.
Everything you need is at your fingertips, man, for your service to the Lord. Right. The Lord takes care of his, man. And you go and fight for Donald Trump. Meanwhile, Donald Trump made it. You can look this up. Donald Trump made it and brother, I want to find this story so bad. He promised the National Guard 2 years ago, he promised them if they activate for 90 days, then they will get full benefits. Right. They will get full benefits, brother, if they activated themselves to help. There was something going on. I think the Puerto Rico hurricane or something happened. It was a national disaster. National. I said national, not natural. It was some national disaster that happened. And he said if you was to do this for 90 days, that's what, 3 months. If you do this thing for 90 days, Urash,
right,
you will get these benefits, full benefits. Because of course, if you don't know, if you're in the National Guard or if you're some type of what is it called, reservist, you don't get the full benefits. You get partial. It's like what, 50%, 60% or something like that. You have to be full active duty to get the full benefits. But he promised these National Guards reservists, if you was to go and do something for these 90 days, it was something going on in the country. If you did this thing, then you will get these full benefits. Guess what Donald Trump did? On the 89th day, he said, we don't need your help anymore. On the 89th day. Like, just think about that for a second. 24 more hours, and they will get the full benefits to take care of their family, send their children to school, go to school for a discount, get benefits, health benefits, dental benefits, vision benefits, educational benefits. And on the 89th day, Arash, he said, we don't need you anymore. Go home. The 89th day. Like, that's a big, huge F you.
Right.
Excuse my language. But that's what that is. That is a big, huge F you.
Right.
That's what the America's government says about their military, about America's military. They say, forget you. They give you the middle finger. They tell you did good job, pat on the back, and go home. You go take care of yourself.
Right.
Black people and Hispanics are too familiar with that. Pull yourself up from your bootstraps.
Right.
Like, we too familiar with hearing that. Well, that's what happens after you didn't risk your life and serve this country. That's what happens.
Right.
Read.
It's like Ecclesiasticus.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 26, verse 28.
Come. Ecclesiasticus chapter 26, verse 28. There be two things that grieve my heart.
Listen to this good. This is real heavy right here, man. There's two things that grieve the heart of the prophet, man. Keep going.
And the third maketh me angry.
The third thing is just absolute anger. Absolute anger. Let's read what they are. Read.
A man of war.
A what?
A man of war.
That's what an army soldier is. That's what a Marine Corps MARSOC, man. You know the kind of training you have to go through to be in those special programs in our oppressors military. The BUDS program, basic underwater demolition school, that's 6 months. Running 10 miles a day. Swimming like 100 miles a week in the ocean in Coronado, California. Urinating on another man to stay warm because that's how cold you are.
Right.
Do you know the kind of training it takes just to go in to become a Navy SEAL? To become a Navy SARC? To become a MARSOC? To become a Green Beret?
Right.
To become a SWIC? To become an officer in the military, in our oppressors military? It's training, man. Those are men of war. Right. Those are men that go out and fight. Their whole duty is just to fight. There's something called a SOAR helicopter. Right. Go look up the pilots of SOAR. SOAR. Right. SOAR helicopter pilots' whole job is to fly into hostile environments for rescue missions. Right. And they literally are like kamikaze pilots. They're like the modern day kamikaze pilots. They will go in these small little helicopters that are to rescue Navy SEALs, Marine MARSOC, Army Green Beret, and they go rescue these guys that are in hostile environments in the mountains of Afghanistan, in Iraq. Right. And they are literally going into heavy gunfire, heavy machine artillery fire, RPGs, and that's their job. Their job is literally to go into war, and to go into an intense battle, and to fight it out and die. Right. They don't ever expect to come back. That is a man of war. Right. That is a man of war. Keep going.
Come. And men of understanding, a man of war.
Keep going.
That suffereth poverty.
That does what?
Suffereth poverty.
Now here's what we're getting into. To be in our oppressors military, man, you're a man of war. You fought wars and battles for this country, right?
Right.
And you suffer extreme poverty when you come back here and you get out of the military.
Right.
When you get out of our oppressors military, you're on the streets sleeping under bridges. Right. You got to ask relatives for money. You got to go and ask, can I stay with you for a little bit? Why is that even a thing? Right. In a country so rich.
Right.
In a country, the richest, most powerful country, the most powerful military, and you get out after fighting wars, after being a goddamn SOAR pilot, and an F-18 pilot, and a Navy SEAL, and an ABH, and an ABE, you have to get out and go and ask relatives for money. You have to go file petitions and file paperwork just to get the benefits that America owes you for doing the service to them, man.
Right.
You're in extreme poverty. Why is that even? Why are there ex-military vets on the streets under bridges in poverty, man? Because America allowed their men of war to get into poverty, to starve, to be homeless, to have drug addictions, to have PTSD, to have manic depression disorder.
Right.
They're in extreme poverty. What did the Bible say?
That suffering, poverty.
That suffer. That's something that's so sad to the prophet of the Lord.
That's right.
It is hard. It's so sad to see a man of war suffer poverty. This is a man of war, Ak. This is a noble. This is a person who risked their life for their nation. Right. This is somebody who's not a lawyer. They're not a doctor. Right. They're not a truck driver. They're not an electrician. Right. This is somebody who risked their whole job is to go in to fight battles so that you can sleep safe at night. Right. So that your family and your children can sleep safe at night. Right. And they come back home and they get in extreme poverty. They don't have money. They don't have food. They don't have a home. Right. They don't have shelter, clean drinking water. They come over here in extreme poverty. Right. This is so sad to the sight of the eyes of the prophets of God, man. That's this right. is something so sad, something so grievous. Keep going.
And men of understanding that are not set by.
Keep going.
And one that returneth from righteousness.
One that does what?
Returneth from righteousness.
Keep going.
To sin.
To do what?
To sin.
To do what?
To sin.
This is the people that are men of war in our nation.
Right.
To come into the EPK, you have to now become born again. You're not a sinner. Whatever you did in the past, we wouldn't know. Why? Because you got a Hebrew name, now you got a new name. Right. You're a new person, you're a new creature. Right. You understand? But this is something that breaks the heart and makes the prophet of God so angry. Somebody who will leave the truth.
Right.
Somebody who will lay down their sword.
Right.
To go be a Christian again. To go do the thing that you came into the truth not to do.
Right.
This is angry. This is absolute angry. It angers the prophet of God. Right. That's what he said. This third thing is what angers him. Right. Keep going. Is that it on that? Keep going.
The Lord, like the Most High. Oh, slack it. I was right. The Lord prepared such and one for the sword.
Brother, that's death. Somebody who leaves the truth, you are marked for death. Okay. You leave the protection of the Lord. If you join this army, if you join the Lord's military in the EPK, brother, it's a blood. What Captain Kai got that song? You heard it? It's called Blood Oath. Brother, listen to that when we know this class. You should have played this before the class started. That's hardcore. He said it's a blood oath. He said, I try to warn you, you're going to lose family. People ain't going to talk to you. This is something that this is the walk. That we walk in here being at the UPK is the same thing that Christ did, man. Right. You understand? He did this. We do his work. We're finishing the work that he started. Right. You understand? We're doing that thing that Paul did. Right. We're doing the thing that Christ did. Right. That Timothy did. Right. We're doing it, man. We're absolutely doing it. And when you leave this work, when you leave this body of Christ, brother, it's sad to see. What else do you say? It's sad. It's absolutely sad. You understand? The same as being in your oppressor's military, and you come home and you in poverty. After you were a man of war with all of your medals on your chest, you became a man of war. You killed. You got medals of gallantry, Silver Star medals, the Medal of Honor, the Navy Cross, the NAMs, Purple Hearts, meaning that you had to be shot or wounded in battle. And you come home and then you got 3-4 rows of medals, and now you come home and you have to sleep on your grandmother's couch. All right. And be addicted to drugs just so you can live another day. That's sad, man. That's absolutely sad. But that's what happens when we join our oppressor's military. Right. That's what happens when you envy your oppressor. You're gonna now reap the benefits, or now reap the consequences for the actions that you've done. That's life, man. And this is so important to learn. When you join your oppressor's military, you are going to reap the consequences that comes with being in your oppressor's military. You understand? Right. Now, is it any more of that? Okay, drop that and go to 1 Ezra chapter 8. verse 84. Like, we have to understand that it is absolutely atrocious. It is heartfelt, sad, somber to be in our oppressor's military.
Right.
Absolutely sad. Whenever I see a brother in there, man, and they happy about it, and they bragging about their rank raise that they got, or they don't call it rank raises in the oppressor's military. We call it rank raises in the UPK.
Right.
But when they talk about getting, what is it called? When you make rank.
Right.
That's what they call it, right?
Right.
You know, I know, you still, you miss it though, you're right.
I
That brother still missing. I'm joking with the brother. But I think it's called, they make rank. So meaning you made, you're a petty officer, a third class, second class, first class, a chief. You made chief, you made third class, you made second class.
Right.
You understand? You made sergeant, you made drill sergeant, you made sergeant first class, you made specialist.
Right.
Like, they are joyous about it. Have you ever seen somebody, brothers I still talk to that's in these South military? Not very many of them, but that made rank, brother, they're excited about it, expect you to tell them congratulations, and all I'm thinking is like, oh, how sad is that, man? That's all I'm thinking is, how sad is that? You giving your all. You know how much it takes to get to be raised up in our oppressors' military? If you black and Hispanic, brother, you have to work 10 times as hard to get those raises, man.
Right.
You got to work 10 times as hard to make rank, to become a specialist, to become a drill sergeant, to become a chief, to become a first or second class. Brother, you got to work extra hard than those oppressors. Extra hard, work more hard than the Filipinos and the heathens and the other nations. You got to work extra hard, 10 times as hard as the other nations. And you get it, and you happy, you excited. But brother, the Bible, the Lord said, the prophet of God said, that it saddens his heart to see that, man. To see those brothers, they're excited about getting rank raises, but then when you get out and retire, or you get out, what happens? You're in extreme poverty. You in poverty, living hand to mouth, without food, without shelter, hooked to drugs, addicted to drugs. That's extremely sad, man. But that's what happens when we join our oppressor, man. Our oppressor don't know how to take care of nobody. All them senators and politicians do is give a damn about themselves. They don't care about the welfare and the posterity of their people, like it says in their constitution. They can't even abide by their constitutional standards.
Right.
They don't give a damn about their posterity. They don't care about their children.
Right.
They don't care about your children. They don't care about them. They don't care about you. They care about themselves.
Right.
They don't even care about their own people. So what makes you think they're gonna care about your black behind or your Hispanic behind? They don't give a damn about us, man. They don't give a damn about us.
Right.
It's so evil and wicked to be in your oppressor's military. That's the mark of the beast right there. You have the mark of the beast if you are in your oppressor's military. And the UPK have been saying that since '69.
Right.
Get out of the United States military.
Right.
Get out of the Navy. Get out of the Army. Get out of the Marine Corps. Get out of the Coast Guard. Get out of the Air Force. Get out of the FBI. Get out of the New York Police Department, the Virginia Police Department, Virginia State Trooper, the Norfolk Police Department, Chesapeake Police Department. Leave. Flee.
Right.
Get out. Go do something else. Go be in the lake. You know, a lineman in Chicago makes $230,000 a year.
Right.
You won't never, ever achieve that in the United States military. If it's about the money.
Right.
If it's about the money and benefits, you think he's not living comfortably? He can have 5 kids and live comfortably.
Right.
$230,000 just for being a lineman. You know what a lineman is. You're an electrician, you know.
Right. Come.
And he makes $230,000. That's like $60, $70 an hour.
Right.
You will never. I don't care if you're an admiral or a general in the United States military. You will never make that much money ever. So if it's about the money, you're not making much in all present. Everybody can look up what you make.
Right.
Everybody knows what you make on deployment. Everybody knows it's tax free. Everybody knows what you make. And you're not making $230,000 as a 30-year-old lineman in Chicago. Why not go do that?
Right.
It takes 2 years, 3 years to do.
Right.
It took you 3 years just to make rank in your oppressor's military. That same 3 years you could have put forth to go and be a lineman in Chicago.
Right.
An electrical lineman on one of those trucks that does work on the electrical lines.
Right.
And you make $232,000 a year. And I'm not making this up.
Right.
And I believe he's not even in his 30s. He's a millennial, which means he was born during the time. He was born in the 90s.
Right.
You get my point?
Right.
He's probably 30 or younger. And he makes $232,000 a year. He makes more than your commanding officer.
Right.
Let's put it like that. He makes more than the captain on your police force. Even with all of the overtime your captain gets on the police force, he makes probably double or 3 times as much.
Right.
So it's not about the money. It ain't about benefits. It ain't about the money. It's because you love America.
Right.
We've been conditioned and taught to love America in this country.
Right.
In Mexico, in Puerto Rico. We've been taught to love America. Why? Because we were raised Christian and Catholic. Every Mexican is a Catholic, which is Christian. Every Negro is a Christian. We were taught to love this country. They gave us freedom. We had to fight for everything we got. So what, we got to love them now? If you had to fight for it, you should not love these people. Why didn't they give it to you if they loved you as much as we love them? Don't fight for a nation that you had to fight just so you can be treated as a goddamn human being. Fight for a nation that murders our sons and our daughters like they're cattle, like a dog in the street. Don't fight for a nation that murdered Atiana Jefferson and both them Jean in their houses while they were sleeping. Don't be a person that will be a traitor to their race. Don't do that, man. Because they're not going to take care of you anyway when you get out. And you're never going to make $232,000. That just blows my mind that black people and Hispanics and Native Indians, you join the oppressor's military to make money to get benefits. Well, why not go get a trade?
Right.
Why is that not the option? Like, you would think if the goal is to make money and get benefits and get that ugly, stupid Dodge Charger and Dodge Challenger that you have that costs $3,200 a month, if that's your goal, why not go and be a damn lineman in Chicago? Why not do that and make $232,000 a year? Like, why? Go be a physicist. Go be a damn truck driver and make $5,000 a month. It takes you 8 weeks to go get your CDLs. 8 weeks.
Right.
You can go get your license. Then you can, guess what you can do after that? Then you can own your own truck and make $10,000 a month,
right?
$15,000 a month. Like, the opportunity is out there for us to. If it's all about the money, right? I'm using the premise that if it's all about the money and benefits, there are so many other jobs out there. Being a cop and being police officers and being in Esau's military. There's so many other options and jobs and opportunities that blacks and Hispanics could do. But being in all oppressors military is the easy way out. That's the easy way out, man. Because it's so you damn near don't have to have any kind of. The Air Force is probably the most strict branch of all Esau's military. The Air Force and the Coast Guard are probably the 2 most strict. But other than that, man, if you want to go join the army, brother, rapists have joined the military,
right?
Drug dealers, crackheads, homosexuals, everybody can join the damn military. Everybody can't be a lineman or a doctor or a lawyer. Go apply yourself to something profitable for your nation. It's not profitable. We don't need more goddamn police officers and black Navy sailors and Marines and soldiers. That's not what we need.
Right.
You get my point? Go learn to be a lineman and make $232,000 so you can pay them tithes and bring them in the UPK.
Damn right.
Go learn how to be a lineman and a doctor. Go learn how to be a surgeon, a EMT, a ENT doctor, a ear, nose, and throat doctor. You know they make more than an OBGYN. Like, go learn and apply yourself to something other than taking the easy way out and joining your oppressor's military. That, guess what? In 5 years, you're going to get out and not have anything to your name anyway. The charger is going to be repossessed. You're going to have to go back and live home with you. The whole reason you're joining is to leave home and get money so you don't have to depend on your parents. In 5 years when you get out, you're going to go home with no money and depend on your parents for survival. You just wasted 5 years of your life. You didn't go in there and try to get a trade. You couldn't get a trade because you're on deployment every damn year. So you have to focus on the job that you have in your oppressor's military. Then you try to go and enroll in college. Then you realize that when they tell you the GI Bill is 100% of your, you get paid for going to school, and then you get paid, they pay your school, you realize that's not all the way true. You realize they embellished that just a little bit. So now you just out in the military like, damn, you just wasted time. And the UPK has been trying to tell you since 1969. That don't join your oppressor's military. Right. You're taking the mark of the beast. That's the mark of the beast. You have the mark of the beast at that point. Right. When you swear and take that oath to now protect America from all enemies, foreign and domestic, brother, that's you now joining something. You're joining the beast. Now you're protecting the beast. You're murdering for the beast. You're killing for the beast. You're doing everything ungodly for the beast.
Right.
And that is absolutely disgraceful in the sight of God, and it is a sin against God. Right. How about you just go learn how to be a lineman if it's all about the money?
Right.
You can get Lamborghinis and all you, brother, $232,000, brother. That's money. That's a good, hard-working brother there. I think it was Isupk too. The program I saw where he made 230. I said, good night. I know I told you about it. I said, good night. These brothers making money, being electricians and linemen and plumbers and truck drivers, CDL holders, and I mean trades, HVAC and diesel and auto body mechanics. Like, you brother, go do that.
Right.
Leave that military alone. You understand? Don't go join and take a right hand and swear on the Bible to protect our enemies, foreign and domestic. Don't do that. Don't take an oath to be on a fraternal order police. Don't do that. Go and learn how to do something else, man.
Right.
Killing is not your call. You know what? You can be a killer here in the UPK. How about that?
Right.
We all killers in here, man.
That's right.
We hardcore, solid brothers in here, man.
That's right.
You Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian come, and furthermore, you won't be in extreme poverty. You get my point?
Right.
You come and serve the Lord, unlike our oppressors military. Commander General Hunter takes care of his soldiers.
That's right.
You won't go hungry and poor and have to worry about what I have to do with my children, about babysitting. Brothers, sisters in here gonna babysit your kids. Oh, give me, they want to babysit the kids for free. They love the children in here. We love our children in here. We love our brothers and our sisters in here. And nieces and nephews in here, man.
Right.
Back in here. And then another thing too, and that oppressive military, you don't know who the hell you working with.
Right.
Do you? You're right. You don't know who the hell is next to you. There's rape. There's all kind of people that's just psychotic in our oppressive military. That's why I said anybody can join. I was in boot camp with some devil who they ended up having to kick out. Why? He was like 4 weeks in the boot camp. Why? Because they found out he was a damn lunatic and a nut.
Right.
Like a lot of lunatics and nuts out there, who would even think to join the oppressive military? Right. He was a damn lunatic and a nut. And he was talking about killing people in boot camp, and he urinated on himself. I mean, brother, it's just horrible. This was an old psychotic lunatic. Right. Some nut. And they had to kick him out.
Right.
Like anybody, and this is the proof, anybody can join. Homosexuals in there running rampant. I mean, brother, it's a scary place when you think about it. Brother, we was on the, brother, this is just disgusting, man. This is Esau. It was Edomite. This is oppression. You remember that devil? You know I know what I'm about to say. Brother, there's some sick people in there. I'm not making this up. What I'm about to tell you, I'm not making this up. This is actually sad. It was a devil in there who made child pornography of his own children. He made child pornography of his own children. And the oppressive military. Did anything happen to him? No. Nothing happened to him. Am I right? I think he went to the brig for like 3 days and that was it. This devil made child pornography of his children, having sex with his daughter and his son. That was like 5 and 6 years old, some nonsense like that. Like, I'm not making this up. These are the people. Go ahead.
Slice if I could.
Go ahead.
He actually got out with an honorable discharge because of the missions he went on in the past.
Brother, I mean, did everybody hear that? Did this brother say, because we knew we was on deployment with this disgusting, filthy cockroach, this devil, this vile, disgusting beast.
Right.
This devil got out with an honorable discharge.
Right.
He got out with it was honorable. This is that same military that your son is joining and your daughter is joining. And your niece and your nephew. When you go and encourage them and say, yeah, and you say thank you for your service, you salute the flag, they're in there with people who make child pornography of their own children. And it's honorable. They get out with honorable discharge. More drug dealers are in there. More rapists.
Right.
Than any ghetto you've ever, brother. That is I'm not, brother. Am I making this up? It is an absolute sick place to be in your oppressive military. I'm not. Right. I'm not exaggerating by any account.
Right.
These are sick people that you would go and be like, man, what? Men in there having sex with each other.
Right.
Men having sex with their own children.
Right.
Thieves, liars. What else? I mean, my God, drugs. I mean, brother, they in there selling perks and mollies in Esau's military more than anybody I've ever seen. I grew up in the ghetto. Go ahead.
Actual prostitution on the actual
prostitution. How can I forget? They in there whoremongers in the oppressive military selling prostitutes on the ship, selling girls on the boat. You want to have sex on deployment? You want to have sex with this one? Okay, come on. You have sex with this one, raping and I mean, I've never encountered so many men who have got accused and went on trial for rape than I ever have until I joined the oppressive military.
Right.
I mean, I've never actually met somebody that was charged with rape in the world. I could probably name you 15 people off the top of my head,
right.
just off the top of my head, just thinking about it. Men that have been found on rape charges for raping some woman in Esau's military. Right. It happens like this. Like I'm snapping my fingers. It happens so fast. Right. That's how fast it happens. Selling drugs, being a homosexual. Like, I mean, the things that go on in there, brother, it's like Rome, right. Like Caligula. And I'm not exaggerating this. It's whores and whoremongers, prostitutes and thieves and liars, and you think these are noble people. Right. You think you joining somewhere where we a band of brothers, right. We all gonna die for each other, we all love each other. You think you going in there with people, give me that scripture, give me that one. Give me the scripture, brother. I'm going to go berserk if I don't find the scripture. Give me the scripture that says, how could two walk together if they not be agreed? I believe it's in Proverbs. You go in there, you joining your oppressor's military, thinking that it's going to be a rainbow coalition of people. Because y'all all went through boot camp together, because y'all had the same training, you think y'all all have the same thought process. Brother, there are KKK members in Esau's military. There are people in Esau's military, devils, oppressors, that absolutely abhor blacks and Hispanics. Right. Neo-Nazis, that's your chiefs and your leaders and the people that's above you. This is in Esau's military. This is the oppressor's military that you want to join for the benefit. Right. You go in there thinking everything is hoity-toity and peachy keen and everybody gonna love each other. They loving each other all right up in there. When you walk in and you see two men having sex with one another, you're going to say, well, this is prison. You would rather be in the penitentiary. Right. You'd be like, what's the difference? What the hell is the difference between that and the penitentiary? Right. You in there murdering. Not only that, now you got to add murder on top of that. You going over there murdering those Arabs in the Middle East. Right. You got to live with that. Then you come home, you going back to work in the oppressive military. You got to deal with some liar, some thief, some man who is a pedophile to his own children. That's what you got to deal with on a daily basis. Right. You found it? Read.
Amos chapter 3, verse 3. Can two walk together?
Can what?
Can two walk together?
Keep going.
Except they be agreed.
Except they be agreed. How could you go and join your oppressor's military and you don't believe in nothing? You all have the different ideologies, different beliefs. Right. You in there, brother. I wish people could. I'm gonna do a documentary one day on Esau's military. I'm gonna do a hidden camera documentary on all of the disgusting. Brother, I'm gonna compare it to the penitentiary, and you're gonna go back. I'm gonna go to Leavenworth State Federal Penitentiary, and you're gonna be like, brother, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna make you choose what you think is the penitentiary and what you think is the oppressor's military. Right. And brother, you're gonna be like, oh, I thought that was the penitentiary. Right. You're gonna be like, I would rather go and get locked up for 10 years and 5 years and to do 5 years in the oppressor's military. Like, brother, it's no difference. The food is no different. The boxes of food that you bring in to feed soldiers and sailors, it says U.S. Penitentiary, United States Military. I'm not making this up. The same food they eat in the penitentiary is the same food they eat on deployment in the military. It's not an exact. You can just go look this up. Right. It's the same thing. Right. The same bologna they eat, the same food they eat, the make fake meat or whatever they eat. It's all the same.
Small cots you sleep in.
Small cots you sleep in. It's all the same thing. The no showering some days. The extreme heat. You're in the penitentiary. I would rather have probably been in. I probably could at least got a college degree in those years that I was in the Esau's military. Right. Like, brother, and you in there thinking like, damn, like we all agree, we all on the same page. You're not. Right. You all believe something. This girl over here, she's a damn whore. You a sister in there thinking, well, I don't agree with being a whore. Right. Well, she does, and that's your bunkmate. Right. And she's a whore with every disease. Oh my God. Go ask a woman that was in Esau's military on deployment how filthy and disgusting women keep their living spaces in their living quarters. Brother, you're going to think you were in there with animals. You not agree on what does the Bible say?
Can two walk together except they be agreed?
How could you be in there with people who y'all don't believe in anything the same? Your beliefs is different. How you live is different. How you talk, how you walk, everything is different than these people. And you joining them, man? Like, come on. Go ahead.
I guess if I could, which is heavy about that, that means you are deplorable. You have to agree.
Yeah.
You have to. You have no choice but to agree.
And that's so heavy the brother said that. I don't know if you heard the brother said, man, you are deplorable for being in that situation because guess what? Now you are in a predicament where you have to agree with everything that goes on in there.
Right.
Why do you have to agree? Because if you don't, you out of there.
Oh.
If you want to stay in there, if you join in and you like, man, I gotta, what do they say? I gotta play the game.
Right.
Then you playing the game, all right, and you in there. Go ahead.
That's like if I could. I forgot when during the time that we were in Isupk military, when we were getting out, they were allowing transgenders into the into the military.
Yeah, and in the bathrooms. Right. And they pay for their surgeries.
Right.
America's military, I think they already passed the law. They damn sure gonna pass it with Joe, but it's devil in office. Go ahead.
It's like it was when I was in it was a sailor. He was in V3, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
They moved him to V1,
mm-hmm.
and he was he slept right across from me,
mm-hmm.
and he was paying to become a woman.
There you go.
That's when I said I had to go.
Yeah, America's damn right. Get him out of hand. Don't never tell nobody what you have to do when you cross the equator.
Right.
In Esau's Navy, when you cross the equator, I mean, my God, it's a lot here. This thing's, brother, you know, oh my God, it's just, brother, you would rather be in the penitentiary.
Right.
And buds, you urinate on another man to stay warm, brother. Man, listen.
Yikes.
It's horrible. Like the image that Americans have of America's military is like, yeah, like you see the uniform and everything, right. But you didn't see that garbage that they was doing on deployment when there was no women around.
Right.
You didn't see the way they was the amount of whore buying in those ports.
Right.
I'm talking about, brother. It was a brother. So like, it was a brother. You know this brother. It was a brother. Oh my God, he was so stupid. He had bought a whore over there. I'm sure he bought them in every port we went to. He bought a whore in a particular port. I ain't even gonna say the country. We left this port. Now, of course, the way it works is you have to be out there with a Liberty group.
Right.
His Liberty group left him because he was out there buying whores.
Right.
And so the story he used and he came up with, he said, I was about to get on the Liberty bus to go back to the boat. And he said, I dropped my wallet and when I looked up, my Liberty group was gone. That's the excuse he used. This brother he told it to this brother, right? This brother said, man, listen, he said, this is the story I heard. You was out there buying prostitutes. And that's why you was late, because you was one of them whorehouses. He said, you was at one of them whorehouses. And he was like, he just started smirking. And he already knew he was calling his lie. He said, man, why would you lie like that? Man, listen, the amount of whore buying, brother. The amount of it's like, I wish people who are not exposed to that military lifestyle, I wish people could just see regular American citizens, especially blacks and Hispanics, can see what they're sending their daughters off to.
Right.
You're sending your daughter in a hostile environment to get raped.
Right.
You should go ask those. I mean, I don't know a woman who probably was in Esau's military who has never been sexually assaulted. I'm not making this up. If you go interview every black and Hispanic woman who have been in our oppressor's military, they will all tell you a story about how they were sexually assaulted or how they were molested or how they were raped.
Right.
I'm not making this up. There was a case down here in Norfolk, in the shipyards. There was some Navy sailor, a female. She got stuck in some brother. This is real life. Like the story we tell you, like, man, this can't be real, bro. This is real. Right. She got stuck in a position where her behind was in the air, and she got stuck, and she was asking them like, help me. These brothers, I don't know if they were brothers. These men raped her. They pulled her pants down while she was stuck in this position, and they had their turn with her. This happened right here in Virginia. Like this happens all the time. And she has to live with that. She's stuck. She's asking, begging somebody to goddamn help her out. And they have sex and rape her. They take advantage of her because she's stuck in this position. Now this is what goes on. This is what you're sending your daughter and your nieces and your sons out there to when you join the oppressor's military. Right. That's what happens.
Brutes and animals.
What'd you say?
Brutes and animals.
Brutes and animals. animals and beasts.
Right.
Disgusting, filthy, vile bastards that I couldn't even, I listened to some of them talking, I was like, man, this ain't me. This is
Right.
different. It's too leisure to just have sex with whores and rape women in there.
Right.
It's just too much leisure with it. Like, it's nothing. It's just another day.
The normality.
It's normal to just rape women and molest women and take advantage of women and drug them in their drinks. That happens a lot in these other military, by the way.
24/7.
All the time. In every port, and just go have sex with random women unprotected. And I mean, it's just it's Caligula. It is just orgies and just every vile thing you can imagine in that military.
Right.
In every branch. Every single, I have family and close friends in every branch, and it's the same in every branch. Every last one of them. It's no different in the Marine. In the Marine Corps, forget about it.
Right.
Those animals in the Marine, brother, they train those brothers and those Marines to be animals in their basic training. Like, it's just absolutely horrible, man. But this is what we send our people. Go back to 1 Ezra 8:84 about Bushak. The water forgetting that scripture. This is the same hostile environment we send our children and our sons and our daughters to. And you'll send you're excited, yay, my baby's in the military, whatever her job is, she's a this, she's a that. Oh, yay, she's doing some of that stuff. And you think that that's honorable and noble, but it's not. In our ignorance, we think that it's noble to go and fight for our oppressor because we think we're an American. We think we're an American citizen. We pledge allegiance to the flag. We salute the flag. When Whitney Houston sung the Star Spangled Banner back in the 80s or the 90s in 1992, black people would play that over and over. They lost their goddamn minds, Jirash.
Right.
Brother, and we just American. We bask and we vote like Americans. We're Christian. We're good Christians.
Right.
We vote. We stand in 8-hour lines to vote. So why not join their military? We're Americans. It's our military too.
Right.
That's that old disgusting, filthy dog that Dr. King, he taught us that. This is your life, this is your America too. You know, Dr. King had a speech, brother. He had a speech said to be, all we ask America is to be true to what you said on paper. If we lived in any other totalitarian government, I would understand the lack of civil rights. If we lived in maybe a China or a Russia, maybe I could understand the lack of civil rights. Maybe I could understand it. He goes on and he says, all we ask America is to be true to what you said on paper. Somewhere I read that what did he say? Somewhere I read that all men are created. He starts reciting the goddamn Constitution as if it belongs to us.
Right.
As if the Constitution applies to us. That's Christianity.
Right.
Like Dr. King spent his whole life's work until the very end, until it was too late, to convince black people that we're somehow Americans and we should join these people that's beating us, that's murdering us, that's killing us, that's raping our women. And that's that old Dr. King philosophy. That's that old Christian doctrine.
Right.
He learned it from the Christian church. That's where he got it from.
Right.
And that's who teaches our children now, the Christian church. And so your children grow up thinking they're American, that we grow up loving our oppressor. I mean, my God. You were just, black people was just as happy that Americans killed Osama bin Laden than white Americans were. In 2011, when they killed Osama bin Laden, black people was just as happy, just as happy. Because when 9/11 hit, it affected us too, Yarash. It affected us too.
Right.
That's what black people, man, it's our country. This is our country too. My forefathers died for this country. You go listen to any so-called black supremacists, any so-called black nationalists, the Farrakhan's, the Khalid Muhammad's, go listen to them and listen to their philosophy on how they feel about America. They don't believe in separating from America. They believe that this is our America too. My foreparents were slaves here. I don't believe in going to no other country. Don King, he was famous for saying that. My forefathers, my ancestors died on this country and picked cotton on this country, helped build this country. Why would I leave? Why would I, why would I denounce America when this is a part of me too?
Right.
This is a part of it, brother. You're stupid and an idiot and a fool. And you've been hoodwinked and tricked into loving America from the Christian church, from your black leaders like Dr. King and Ben Carson and goddamn Don King. You've been hoodwinked and just, played the fool for 400 years.
Right.
For the past 60 years since the civil rights, we played the fool, man. We've been fooled up in here, man.
Right.
We've been taught to love America, and that's why we joined it, because we think this is our America too. You're right. We think that this is our America.
Right.
Brother, this is not your America. And you know, in the Christian church, they teach you to pray for the leader of America. Pray for the president, which is the president. Pray for the president. Pray for your leaders. The Bible say pray for your leaders. I can't tell how many times I've heard that in my life. Pray for George Bush. Pray for Barack Obama. Pray for Donald Trump. Yeah, he's this, but God can still use him. He uses anybody. I'm so sick of hearing that Christian dogma, that bull crap about God loves everybody. He can use everybody. He can use anybody. He can't. He chooses specific people to do this job. Everybody's not going to be in here. Everybody's not going to be in the UPK. Everybody, God ain't using anybody. He's using who he chose, man. Right. Even Christ said he spoke in parables because he didn't want everybody to understand. Right. Yeah, you talking about everybody's accepted. Everybody, no, you're not. I'm sorry to tell you, but being an Israelite, understanding the Bible is understanding the Most High. Right. He's separate, man. He's a separate person. He's a separate, not person. I'm sorry. He's a separate. He's all about separativeness. Right. He's about being holy, which is being separate. He don't want to join. He's not same. Right. He's not saying everything and everybody is welcome and every join and inclusion. Hell no. He excludes a lot of people out of everything. Right. He punishes you and hates you for doing certain things, and he loves you for doing certain things. He's like any father. Ain't no man of God would ever allow their children to do everything. Right. God is the same way. Right. And when you understand that type of thinking, you won't include everything and everybody. You won't be, this is my America, democracy vote, accepting of everybody, loving everybody. That's all garbage. To get you to go join the goddamn military and you in there with some homosexuals and some proven pedophile, child molesting men and women. Read.
Oh my God. First Ezra, chapter 8, verse 84. Therefore, now shall ye not join your daughters unto their sons.
What did the Bible say?
Shall ye not join your daughters unto their sons.
Brother, don't join your daughters to that military.
That's right.
Don't join your daughters to go out there to get raped on deployment.
That's right.
Get raped on some ship somewhere because she's asking for help because she's stuck in a position.
Right.
And 3-4 men come up and rape this girl.
Right.
And mutilate her. And this is another story. This story, oh my God, find this. I'm going to read it. Read from the top.
God. First Ezra,
brother, it's stories that these, I don't know if anybody's been paying attention to the news, but it's been since last year. There's a Fort Hood base or something down in Georgia, where all those Mexicans are going missing like crazy.
Right,
women are getting raped and mutilated. They going missing like crazy, murdered like crazy. They finally had to fire the commanding officer over the base because they said, what the hell is going on? Well, all of your soldiers, all these black and Hispanic soldiers are going missing every day. They're going missing like crazy, and it's like an epidemic down there.
Right.
This is in the military. This is not civilian sector. This is in Esau's military. This is your oppressor's military. They're going missing like whoa.
Right.
Going missing like crazy. They finally had to fire that devil and said, we relieve you of your duties because you're not doing something right here.
Right.
You're not doing something right because there's so many Hispanic sisters. It started off with all the Hispanic girls down there in the military going missing, getting raped, foul play, the genitals mutilated. Oh my God. That's what you're doing when you join your daughter to their sons.
Right.
You go and give your daughter down to the military. You proud that she's some Navy girl. She's a Marine. She's in the Army. And you proud of her. That's your princess. That's your daughter. That's your baby girl. Right. Proud of you, baby girl. And then 6 months later, you get a phone call and they tell you that your daughter went missing and that we need you to come down here and identify her body. Her genitals have been mutilated. And now you ain't so proud anymore. Go ask the parents that lost those daughters over there in the Middle East. That black girl, her name was something Johnson. This was back in 08 in Fallujah, Iraq, I believe.
Right.
And she's out there on that Marine Corps base or that Army base. And brother, they raped this sister.
Right.
They murdered her. Then they poured acid over her genitals, so they couldn't tell if she was raped or not. And then they killed her, and they said that they ruled it a suicide. They said that she poured the acid on her genitals, and she committed suicide. That's the oppressor that's the sons of the oppressor that you give your daughters to when you send them to the oppressor's military. Now, how sad is that? Some child, you don't even get the dignity of a normal house call when a sailor or a soldier loses their life in battle. They have to come to your house and present you with some disgusting, crisply folded American flag, some raggedy ass American flag they give you after you lost your damn child, like you want a damn flag, and tell you that we sorry to tell you that you lost your child. They couldn't even give her that. They had to identify her body to make sure her family had to make sure it was even her, because they poured acid over the poor sister after they raped her and brutalized this sister. Just like they did Reese Taylor, where they played in her insides after they had finished raping her. So much damage that was done to her uterus that she could not childbear anymore because they played in her insides. This is your oppressor that you love, that you voted for, and stood in the line for 8 hours and voted for. The same oppressor you give your children to every day when they go take that oath to defend America from all enemies, foreign and domestic, down in some office. What do they call the offices where you go and join the military? The goddamn recruiters' offices. And you get so happy they doing something for their country, they're doing something for themselves. They're going to die by the hands, not of the hands of the Arabs. They're not getting shot in the head by some Arab that they're fighting against. They're getting killed and murdered by the same devils that they went to training with. The same devils that you told them to love. The same devils that Dr. King joined us with. The same oppressors. The same brute enemies that our leaders sold us to. That's what happens when you join with your oppressor's military and their police force and their FBI and their law enforcement. That's what happens. They go off in some desert somewhere, get raped, get brutalized, get murdered, acid poured over them, mutilated, and just absolutely, I mean, who wants to die in that way, man? And that's what happens to our women. That's what happens to our blacks and Hispanics when they go join that military. And now you a man, gotta go pick your daughter out, gotta go cry. Brother, you imagine the pain that some father feels. Your father, a man's job is to defend his family. Imagine your daughter, she died a horrible, horrible death that you could not defend her from. She was raped while she was still living. She was murdered. And she had acid poured over her genitals and her body to be mutilated. Imagine a father knowing that this happened to your daughter in her final hours. All she could be thinking is, "Where is my?" All she could be thinking is she wants to be helped out of this situation. And you, a man who gave your daughter to your oppressor's sons in their military, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should have more dignity and honor. You should love your daughter a little more than to give her to Donald Trump and Joe Biden's America. Than to give her to the same America that raped your foremothers. These are the same men. The same devils that were here on the earth now were there then. In the reincarnation, that spirit never dies from Esau. He is the same rapist, the same brute enemy, the same devil, the same liar, the same murderer, the same child smuggler, the same kidnapper, the same absolute devil that the Bible speaks of. He's the same person. He ain't changed. Here's what needs to change. The love that you have for your brother. The love that you have for your children. Your daughter, that is your sister, man. Your son, that's your brother. And you should love them a little more than to give them to the hands of your enemies just for some goddamn benefits. So excuse my language. For some benefits, man. Just for some benefits that won't even be a benefit to them because they're going to be dead, mutilated somewhere in the desert where nobody is going to find them. Nobody is going to care. Nobody's going to care about them. And you have to go and identify them with acid poured over their face and their genitals, man. The Christian churches that fought for that sister died like that. Because they taught us that America, this is our country. And we got to fight for this damn now. This is not our rest. This is not our country. This is not the land of the free and the home of the brave. This is home of cowards. And in the UPK, we are no cowards. And I pray you understand. Keep reading.
Neither shall ye take their daughters unto your sons. Verse 85. Moreover,
neither shall you what?
Neither shall ye take their daughters unto your sons.
Listen, neither shall those daughters, neither shall your oppressor's daughters. You shouldn't give your sons to their women either. Why? Because they're going to go in there and get lied on that they were raped by some black man. And I've seen it so many times in the oppressor's military. We've seen it so many times with civilians.
Right.
In college somewhere, some brother was claimed for raping some sister in colleges all over the country.
Right.
Emmett Till. So many of them are claiming that, oh, he raped me. Rosewood burned down because of a lie from a white woman.
Right.
Wars have been started from lies of our oppressors' daughters. So do not give your son to that devil, man, that dog, that Christ called a dog.
Right.
Don't give your sons to them either, because they're going to be destroyed too. They're going to be just as destroyed as their daughter. They're going to be destroyed. Their life is going to be ruined. They got to serve time. They get out with a dishonorable discharge, which is the same as a felony.
Right.
And you get out, you ain't going to be able to get a job. You're going to commit suicide.
Right.
And you are at fault as a parent because instead of listening to the prophets of God, you decided to listen to Dr. King and follow his theory. You decided to listen to Ben Carson. You decided to love America. You decided to vote for Joe Biden.
Right.
You decided to vote for Donald Trump.
Right.
You decided to vote for Bill Clinton.
Right.
You decided to vote for Barack Obama.
Right.
You decided to love this country and plead your allegiance to this country. And now your son is getting out with a felony because he was accused of raping some white girl. Because he was accused of doing harm to some little oppressor.
Right.
Poor girl, poor her. And now he's lied on, and now his whole life is ruined. Don't give your son to this devil.
Right.
Don't give your daughter to this oppressor. Keep going.
Verse 85. Moreover, ye shall never seek to have peace with them.
What did the Bible say?
Never.
No, hold on, Yarash. I thought the scriptures, I thought it was all love. I thought God loved everybody, and he included and accepted everybody. This is an order from the Most High telling the children of Israel, blacks, Hispanics, and Indians, what never to do. Read it again.
Moreover, ye shall never.
Sometimes.
Never.
Always.
Never.
Maybe.
Never.
If they love us.
Never.
If they give us civil rights.
Never.
If this is our America.
Never.
If we're Rainbow Coalition.
Never.
All lives matter.
Never.
If they give us affirmative action.
Never.
If they allow our women to make $1 more today than they did yesterday. The
Never.
Bible said what?
Never.
Keep going.
Seek to have peace with
The
them.
Bible said don't ever seek to have peace with your oppressor.
That's right.
Don't ever seek to have, don't ever join. That's what you do when you join the military. Is you you seeking to have peace with them because you believe that you joining the military says that I'm American too.
Right.
I've served this country like my forefathers served this country.
Right.
Your forefathers were forced to be over here serving America, slaving as an American in America.
Right.
They were 3/5 of a man.
Right.
They didn't serve. Listen, they were forced. They didn't go take an oath like you did to go join the police force and join the military. They had to come over here in the bowels of slave ships covered in feces and piss and period blood and put on plantations. That was by force.
Right.
They didn't take an oath willingly to do it like you do. They didn't sell out their people like you do your daughters and your sons.
Right.
This is not your America. Keep going.
That ye may be strong.
That you do what?
That ye may be strong.
Here's something that Christians will never understand.
Right.
And they need to understand. Because they are the ruling class of our people. They
Right.
control the thoughts of our people.
Right.
And Christians don't understand power.
Right.
They don't understand it. That simple concept is not simple really. But
Right.
the concept that the UPK absolutely glories in, they don't understand it even in the least bit. And I'm going to tell you why.
Right.
Christians are a lot of talk. They're a lot of talk. General Mahiman was just breaking this down so clear and heavy yesterday, last night, like he always does. And he was speaking about power in his class last night.
Right.
I think it was like the last, if you want to go back and look at it, it's probably the last 25, 30 minutes. And
Right.
Christians don't believe in power. They don't have power. They don't believe in power. I'll say they don't believe in power because they have power. They got power to take $400 billion from Negroes and Hispanics
Right.
since the 70s, so they have power. And they just talk. They're allowed to talk.
Right.
We saved. We sovereign. This is our America. We saved and you get shot. And you getting killed. And you getting evicted. But everybody's saved.
Right.
Everybody's saved, but everybody is getting raped.
Right.
Everybody's saved, but your sons go to prison for 25 years.
Right.
Only God can judge while your daughter is looking at you crying because the judge gives you 10 to 13 years in the penitentiary.
Right.
Christians are nothing but talk.
Right.
Power is not talk. Power is action.
That's right.
And that's only going to be found here in the UPK.
Right.
You're not going to find it in any Christian church.
Right.
You're not going to find it in any Muslim mosque.
Right.
How do we know? Malcolm X thought he had power. He controlled men like this, didn't he?
Right.
He did this and men moved. And that was so powerful. And the average black man saw that and said, man, I want that power.
Right.
But then, 2-3 years later, what happens? He gets murdered and assassinated by his same Muslim brothers. His same Muslim brothers that he said he loved and that said they loved him, he got assassinated in front of his daughters and his wife. But everybody's got power, right?
Right.
Everybody just talk, man. And the sooner you understand that, the sooner you be better off. Right. Because in that head of yours, you think that the Christians, all that talk they do, you think that Dr. Umar Johnson is such a powerful orator. Dr. King was such a powerful orator. It's just talk, man. A lot of talk. That brother still ain't got a school. Right. He said that by the year 2019, August 21st, 2019 to be exact, there is going to be a school. We raised over $750,000. Right. And we got this school. There ain't no school. There ain't no doctorate. Right. It's just a brother with aspirations to help his people. Right. And that's good, man. That's good. But the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Right. And a lot of black people like Malachi York, like Dr. King, like Malcolm X had good intentions. Oh, you're right. They had all the intentions in the world, right, but they didn't have power. And this power that we have is given to us by the authority of the Most High in Christ. Right. This ain't power given to us by Joe Biden. We didn't go and petition and lobby for this power. This is power that is given to us by serving God and right, doing what the Lord says to do. By serving the men of the Lord that God set in front of us, like Commander General Yana. Right. And you follow that, brother. You got to get close to the man who has power if you want power. And you don't get power by giving your allegiance to your enemy. By joining their police force, by joining their military, by joining their law enforcement. That's not how you maintain power in your society. Right. By joining their politics and being a president and governor and being a damn alderman and city councilman, you don't get power by joining what they already have in front of you. That's not how you maintain power in your society, in your community, in your nation. Right. You have to be separate from these nations. That's right. That's how you get power. Right. That's how you maintain. That's what Dr. King didn't understand. Right. He gave all of our power to our enemies and to our oppressors. Right. We had power somewhat at some time. 2-3 generations after slavery, we had Wall Street and Durham, North Carolina, and the Watts, and Harlem, New York, and Rosewood, Florida, and Tulsa, Oklahoma. We had in Chicago, we had power. We had some black neighborhoods, we had wealth. Right. In those neighborhoods. You had black men and women married. You didn't have girls getting molested and raped at the rate they do now. You didn't have sisters going to commit abortions at the rate they do now. Right. You had some sense of a community and some power. And Dr. King came along and told us and convinced us and beguiled us to love America, join their military, join their law enforcement. This is our America. We're all equal. Right. We created equal. We ask America to be true to what they say on paper. And we joined this America and we gave up our power. Right. And so now when the police pulls you over, he's beating you because he has power. He ain't beating you because you got paperwork saying you sovereign and I'm a Moor and I'm sovereign, and he's crack over your head and he's beating you and he's killing you and he's shooting you in the back. Right. Because he's not beating you because of what he says, it's because he has power. Right. Given to him by the authority of that municipality, given to him by the authority of America. Right. America is the most powerful nation on the earth. Go ahead.
And Slosh, if I could, and that's real heavy because the reason why the Lord even said, like, seek not to have peace, while we're trying to have peace with America, while we're trying to come to an agreement and stop having a hostile life and we're just turning the other cheek and we're just protesting, that's trying to seek peace while they're murdering us, while they're killing us. These are acts of war. That's the crazy part. Like, we are literally at war with America and they're just gunning us down, murdering us, mass incarcerating us, but we want to be at peace as if this is what peace is.
Yeah, right.
Like, it's sad.
It is sad. It's awful. It's absolutely sad to see your nation get murdered the way we do. Watching our nation get murdered and killed, and nobody's here to save us. And then you got black pastors saying everybody loves God, loves everybody, we all equal. That just infuriates us. The Bible says that a wise man would be mad by oppression.
Right.
It says that oppression maketh the wise man mad. And so we wise back here because we furious and in anger by seeing our people oppressed.
Right.
We angry by seeing our sisters go off to the military and get raped.
Right.
And our brothers go off and get a rape charge on them that they never even did. That makes us angry.
Right.
Because we know the truth and we've been telling our people the truth, but our people don't listen.
Right.
Just like they didn't listen to Christ. Just like they ain't listening now. So like this mic, listen, this thing can be on and nobody gonna listen now.
Right.
Because you're gonna just do whatever the hell you want to do anyway. But we have an obligation to teach our people the right things since 69. And we've been doing it, we're gonna continue to do it, whether who listens or not. It don't matter to us. We just want our people to be saved.
Right.
And we want our people to get out of this place called America.
Right.
Out of her, my people.
Right.
Separate from America. That's all we want, man. We want our people to wake the hell up, so we don't get murdered like dogs in the streets anymore. You understand?
Right.
Like that's so heavy that you just said that because that's the truth. It's like power is so you need power in your society.
Right.
Just go ask your oppressor. Go ask any nation.
Right.
Go ask the Arabs. That's why Arabs ain't getting murdered by the police. You would think with the wars being fought since the 90s in Kuwait and in the Middle East, in Iraq, Afghanistan, you would think that surely some gung-ho racist KKK skinhead white cop would pull over an Arab teenager and murder him like they do black boys. You would think that.
Right.
But because Arabs have
power,
because they have power, they don't get pulled over and get murdered.
Right.
The Chinese, the Koreans, the Vietnamese.
Right.
You know, at one time, America was at war with the Japanese.
Right.
The Japanese listen, brother. You know what Pearl Harbor is?
Right.
The Japanese, the kamikaze pilots, they bombed Pearl Harbor.
Right.
Flew their planes into the ships in the ports of Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, and America went to war with them. Right. They don't murder the Japanese. They don't try those the Japanese military. They like friends. Like those World War II soldiers from America, they like friends with those Japanese, man. Right. They like friends with them. Some nonsense like that. Hold your point 1 second. They like friends with them, man. Right. They don't give a like, brother. They have power. The Japanese have more power, and they're at war with America. The Arabs have power, and they're at war with America. Right. Everybody comes over. They maintain their power because they don't give it up to their oppressor. Go ahead. What was you gonna say?
So weren't they giving compensation too?
You had to look it up, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were. I know this much. I know that this is how much the devil our oppressor is. I know that after the Haitian Revolution, you know how Haiti, they won the revolution against the French. Haiti had to pay the French. They had to pay them reparations for every soldier the French lost in the Haitian Revolution.
White man's the devil.
That's power right there. Your nation won, and you paying them for every soldier that was killed in the Haitian Revolution. That's power. The British and the French don't give up their power. America don't give up their power. We're the only nation that gives up our power to join another nation that kills us, that oppresses us, that hates us, that murders us, that kidnapped us, that forced us in chattel slavery. We're the only people that does that, man. Because of our Christian black leaders. Because of Dr. King and Malcolm X and Medgar Evers and and Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton, you know, that's why. Because we listen to Christian leaders and Muslim leaders like Farrakhan and Elijah Muhammad. So now we're in a state without power. We don't have any power in the black community because we've given it all up to go fight in our oppressor's military. Right. Read that again,
Moreover, ye shall never seek to have peace with them.
Never, ever. It didn't say sometimes.
Right.
We should never do it. Like Dr. King, there's so many scriptures in the Bible that go against with what Dr. King did and said and believed.
Right.
Now, how in the world is he a man? We gotta watch the profanity. We gotta comment and cool it on that a little bit. That was, an order from General Hyman. But how in the world is he a man of God?
Right.
If he does what the Bible is saying not to do?
Right.
The Bible so many times tells you don't join another nation. Never trust your enemy. That's in Ecclesiastes. The scriptures, that's the book we just read. Now it's saying, do what? Don't never trust your enemy.
Right.
You are a holy people. Be
right.
separate. You are the children of God. Salvation is of the Jews. Now, how many scriptures? There's millions of scriptures in the Bible that says that. Thousands of scriptures that tells the children of Israel, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, to never join nations. And Dr. King did the opposite of that.
Right.
Malcolm X did the opposite of that.
Right.
Jesse Jackson did the opposite of that. Al Sharpton did the opposite of that. The Black Panthers did the opposite of what the Bible says.
Right.
So how are they men of God? How is that possible? How are they soldiers and martyrs and they're filth?
Right.
That's all they are. They're nothing. You made them into be gods. Now we have to crush them, and they're nothing.
Right.
Because they are not men of God.
Right.
Because they didn't do what the Bible said do.
Right.
They disobeyed God. Their disobedience to the Lord led them to their assassinations. All of them are dead. Huey P. Newton. I think the only Black Panther, one of them left is Bobby Seale, and I don't know how good his health is. I know he's pushing 80. Right. But that's it. You got Bobby Seale from the Black Panthers. Nobody's even around anymore. The Black Muslims not around no more. All of them are just gone. Malcolm X got assassinated. Dr. King assassinated. Medgar Evers assassinated. All of them got killed and murdered and assassinated. None of them are here. None of these organizations are even here.
Right.
We've been here since they've been here, and we're still here.
Right.
Because we are men of God.
Right.
The Lord is with us. And if there's one thing you better understand, man, if you Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you listen to this, is that power of God, the power that we read about in the Bible, that's in the UPK under Commander General Hyman.
Right.
And you better understand that, because we do not give our power to other nations. Right. We stay separate. We don't join our oppressors' military. We are the damn military. Right. We're the military of Christ, the army of Christ. We're the military that is for our people. Not like the Black Panthers. They were disorganized. They wasn't no military. They just was Negroes with guns and weapons that were angry at their oppressor. And it's right to be angry at your oppressor. And it's right to have guns if you can legally do it. But you don't go and harm anybody. This organization is non-violent. We've never harmed anybody. Right. We never murdered or killed or beat up anybody. Why? Because we do what the Lord tells us to do, and we obey God. Right. You understand? I ain't telling somebody not to have self-defense. If you defend your life, you defend your life. Right. We don't go out causing problems. We don't disobey laws. We are experts in keeping laws. And this precept right here is telling us to never join our oppressor. Never join our enemy. That means never join our oppressor, the Arabs, the Chinese, the Africans. Right. We're never going to join them. And they're never going to be allowed in these doors. Why? Because the Bible said so. Right. Not because of anything we made up, any arbitrary laws we made up, but because God said it. Keep going.
That ye may be strong.
That we strong. We're weak. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are absolutely weak. Right. In America, in Puerto Rico, in Mexico. That's why nations can talk about us like they do. Right. That's why Donald Trump was able to say that Mexicans are rapists and face no backlash. Like, he was elected president after saying that. Right. He stood in front of a black audience and said, what in the hell do you have to lose? Your sons are getting murdered. Your daughters is getting raped. Everybody's dying in the black community. What the hell you got to lose voting for me? Meaning, that's a spin in the face. Now, you know what they're saying, right? Like, you already in the worst hell you could possibly be in. Right. What difference does it make who you vote for? Right. You might as well vote for me. You ain't got nothing to lose. Right. That means you're weak. We are a weak nation. Why? Because our leadership have failed us. Our gates are languished. Our leadership failed us, man. And so now we're weak and we're not strong. Keep going.
And eat the good things of the land.
We should be eating the good things of the land. We shouldn't be having to Captain Nazis out of the Shah, give him a hand. That's right. And Camp broke down that heavy precept, and he broke it down so heavy how we shouldn't have to live in squalor just because you don't have money. That don't give somebody a right to be in poverty. That don't give somebody a right to be hungry. You should be eating the good things. You should have brothers with land Jay-Z got all them billions. He should have acres of land to give to his people and grow vegetables and fruits down there in Mexico, making deals with the Puerto Rican brothers, growing fruits and bananas and plantains and all kinds of pineapples and things like that to give to our people so you don't have to go hungry.
Right.
We should be eating plentiful of the land, but we don't. Why? Because we join our oppressor's military. Because we join our oppressor.
Right.
We love this country.
Right.
And that's the reason why we're weak, why we don't eat plentiful of the land, and why we don't have power.
Right.
When you join a nation of people that are not yours, you lose your power.
Right.
You give up your God.
Right.
You give up your culture and heritage for their culture and heritage.
Right.
You think that basketball and football is our culture and heritage? It's not. It's not. Like black people think because we're good at something, like singing and dancing, and that's our culture and heritage. That's not our culture and heritage. I just want black people to understand, and this is such a misnomer in the Bible, is the salt of the earth. That doesn't mean that we're the best basketball players and singers and rappers and dancers. That's not black culture. You understand?
Right.
Because you know what Israelites would do, right? Like all the fake Israelites do. Well, you know, Tom Jones and Tom Cruise, he can act so well. He can sing so well. Justin Timberlake must be an Israelite because of the way he dances. That's not what that means.
Right.
That's not at all what that means. You get my point? Read it again.
That's like it. And eat the good things of the land.
Keep going.
And that ye may leave the inheritance of the land.
No, you may leave the inheritance of the land, brother. This is just what we should be living right now.
That's right.
But because we've given up our heritage, which is not singing and dancing, it's the laws of God. That's what our heritage, our culture is these fringes bordered in blue. Is us serving the Most High, is us having one power, is the Manara, is the Magundawadah, chalices, the wine and the oil. That's our heritage, our culture, man. To be righteous, to be just, to follow God, to live a life that Christ lived. That's our culture and heritage, man. Not dancing and singing. Obeying the laws of God is. And we giving that up to obey the laws of America, to obey the culture and the God of America, to love what they love, to eat what they eat, to join their military, to join their oppressor. I could have broken down Cornelius too. I got a little time, but I got one scripture. I probably won't get to it. But of course, Cornelius was an Israelite. Cornelius in Acts in the New Testament. A lot of Jakes asked the question, not tonight, but a lot of Jakes asked the question. I can make the comparison or the parallel between Cornelius in the New Testament and how we join all oppressor's military now. Like just like how he was of the Roman band, which is the army of Rome. We were in the American band or the American army, the American military, the American Navy. Like we're Israelites, but because we joined our oppressor, we're known as being an American because we fought for America and served America and been on deployments for America and killed for America. I mean, the same thing can be said about us, all right? Cornelius was an Israelite, and he was in the Roman military, just like how Jake's now are in the military of America. What's the difference? He's an Israelite, and there's blacks and Hispanics, more blacks and Hispanics probably that want to serve America more than our oppressor, brother. I've seen so many Mexicans. Have you seen all the Marines that want to be the Mexicans that want to be Marines? I don't know what it is about Isupk and the Marine Corps.
Right, God.
Like that's the most dangerous thing is to be a Marine because any job you have in the Marine Corps, you're going to see some type of deployment or battle.
Right.
Like my God, and they want to do it. They want to do it because why? We joined America and we've given our power to America. That's why. We are weak because our leadership has failed us. And so we want to go be the most dangerous goddamn job in America's military and die for America. Keep going. Oh, no, drop that. Oh, boy. Give me Jeremiah 4 and 30. Bible shot. Come. Real quick. We got about 10 more minutes left. Give me Jeremiah chapter 4 and 30. Come. And because of that, brother, we just absolutely failed, man. If there's any questions, y'all can definitely type them in. You understand? Type in the questions, any questions you have. But, brother, if you in America's military, if you in our oppressor's military, get out. Run like your life depended on it. Once again, if you need counsel on how to maneuver your way out of America's military, our oppressor's military, call your nearest school. You understand? Call our numbers. You understand? Call the numbers that's on the website for the nearest school near you and find out how, if you want to come and serve in the Lord's military, in the UPK under Commander Juliana, and you don't want to be in President's military anymore, or our law enforcement anymore, call the number, brother. Call the number, sister. Do it. So you can be saved. That's safe. You being safe from death. You being safe from a death that sister had to live, that she had to go through, and that horrible death she had to die by getting raped and then killed and mutilated. Like, that's a death you don't want for your daughter. That's a death you don't want for your son. You should come in here and be and serve the Lord.
Right.
You would die much more honorable death than that. We ain't gonna get, trust me, y'all women ain't getting raped.
Right.
And our brothers ain't getting no rape charges on them from some white women. So you should come in here and have more honor and live a more integrity, a life of integrity, a life of honor, compared to being in there with sodomites and pedophiles and rapists and drug dealers and whoremongers and whores. Come in here. And if you want to come in here, call that number. Go to the isupk.com and look on our website and find the nearest school near you.
Right.
Come in school,
That's right.
do your 90 days, get your name, get your Hebrew name, bring your family, tell everybody about what we do. Come in here and put in your brick, man. Right. So we can build this nation, pay its tithes, you understand? Alright? So come in here, man. Don't join your oppressor's military. There's no honor in that.
Right.
There's no honor, it's unsafe, there's no benefits.
Right.
Forget the benefits. You pay, it's piss poor. You're gonna be forgotten about in a year, 6 months after you leave. So just don't do that. If you somebody thinking about joining the American military, if you somebody thinking about putting on that dress blue, getting on there and taking the oath, go right now to that MEPS. That's what it's called, MEPS.
Right.
Go right now to MEPS and tell them you made a mistake and that you want to take this. You don't want to join the American military. You want to get out because I'm I'm an Israelite, and we don't believe in murdering anybody. So I don't want to do this. This is a conscientious objector. That's what it's called. And you call this school and you tell them, man, listen, I want to be in here. I learned from these brothers in here. I don't want to be in the American military. I want to be in here. And you are honorable for that. You understand? Come in here and put in your brick, man. Don't join the oppressor's military. Don't join their law enforcement. Don't do none of that garbage. You come in here, man, and you learn the Bible. Read.
Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 30. And when thou art spoiled, what wilt thou do?
Keep going.
Though thou clothest thyself with crimson,
Keep going.
though thou deckest, though thou deckest thee with ornaments of gold.
This might not be the one I want. Read it from the top.
Concept.
And when thou art spoiled,
What will I do? Keep going, Roy. Read.
what wilt thou do?
What will I do?
Though,
I spoiled. Read that again.
and when thou art spoiled, what wilt thou do?
When you spoiled, what does it mean to be? When you have the love, when you, how can I break this down? When you're spoiled, we're spoiled in America. Like, we're being spoiled is ruined. We're ruined.
Right.
You get my point? Like, spoiled does not mean it's not like a spoiled brat. It's not like well, okay, I take that back because when somebody uses the word spoiled for kids, they mean they get everything they want. But the meaning behind it is they're ruined because they know that child is going to grow up and not appreciate anything. When you're spoiled as an adult, brother, and you've been spoiled your whole life, being a Christian, being a Muslim, you understand, we've been spoiled in this place, meaning we've been ruined. And because we've been ruined, the Bible says what? What would I do?
What wilt thou do?
You are going to join your oppressor's military so you can get good pay and good benefits. Am I lying, Urash?
No.
That's what's going to happen because you grew up poor. You grew up spoiled. You grew up in the projects. You grew up in Cabrini Green. You grew up in Wayne Minor. You grew up in the Watts.
Right.
What's the project where you from? In Jersey.
In Jersey?
Yeah.
It was just apartments like minor, like
Do you use the name?
Like Greenwood.
Greenwood in New Jersey. You grew up in Greenwood projects in New Jersey. Phew, yikes. You're going to do whatever it takes to get money to feed your family. Woodmere. You're going to grow up to do whatever it takes to feed your family, and you're going to join America's military.
Right.
The scriptures say, what will thou do, brother? You would do anything. What do you know what a brother would do just to feed his children?
Right.
You're going to rob banks, rob KFC, churches, chicken, sell drugs, prostitute women, just to feed his family. You surely join America's military. and
Right.
get that mark of the beast
Right.
in your brain. That's what's gonna happen.
Right.
You serving the beast by doing that, man. Don't do that. You dishonor yourself. You dishonor your nation. You dishonor your God by going and joining all oppressive military. Drop that, because that's what I wanted on that. And take me to 2 Kings. Take me to 2 Kings chapter 24, verse 14.
Come.
When we're spoiled, which we are,
2 Kings, sir.
God, 2 Kings chapter 24, verse 14. When we're spoiled, which we are, we'll do anything. And that's the fault of our... It's not your fault, brother. It's not your fault, sister. If you out there selling drugs to feed your family, stop. But come into the UPK and learn how to truly provide for your family. If you out there says you selling your body to feed your family, stop doing that and come into UPK and learn how to really be a woman of God and don't have to do that to feed your family, right? But when you are out there doing it, just know that it's the fault of the Christian church and those Christian pastors that led you to that lifestyle, that led us to selling drugs, that led us to selling our sisters, that led us to selling our bodies, that led us to being a bank robber and a thief and a liar just to feed our family. It's not your fault. It's the fault of those Christian churches, the fault of those Christian pastors, the fault of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the fault of Ben Carson, the fault of Kenny Alexander. That's who the fault is on. It's not on you, man. You come out of that nonsense and come into the truth and learn how to be a man and how to be a woman, how to be somebody that your daughters and your sons can respect and look up to.
Right.
You understand? So give me that scripture, Bible Shah.
Come, sir.
2 Kings chapter 24, verse 14. And he carried away all Jerusalem and all the princes.
Ooh, this is a heavy scripture. We're going to end on this one. This is heavy right here. Read that again from the top.
And he carried away all Jerusalem and all the princes.
Now, this is talking about our oppressor, right? This is talking about our oppressor carrying all of us away. Now, who did he carry away of us? Keep going. Read it again.
Come. 2 Kings chapter 24, verse 14. And he carried away all Jerusalem.
He carried away all of Jerusalem. Keep going.
And all the princes.
All of our princes. What is that? A prince is somebody that's the son of a king. That's somebody high up. You understand? Keep going.
And all the mighty men.
All the what?
All the mighty men.
All of the what?
All the mighty men.
They carried away all of our soldiers out. All of the mighty men that defended Israel, that defended Jerusalem, they carried it. Our oppressor carried them away.
Right.
That's what happened, man. Keep going.
Of valor.
Of what?
Of valor.
Men of war, men of valor,
That's right.
men of honor, men of integrity.
Right.
They carried them away. And that's why they're not in the black community anymore.
Right.
That's why they're not there to raise our children.
Right.
Because your oppressor carried them away. Our oppressor carried away all our mighty men of valor, our soldiers. Why sisters saying now, well, why I can't find no man, Yarash? That's because Yarash sitting right here in class. You're not in class.
Right.
We're trying to get Yarash. That's why you can't find no mighty man. They in the UPK. But the reason sisters say, well, I can't find no man. I can't find a good man. A man is, these men now soft and I can't find a man. Where are the men at to protect our families? Because your oppressor carried them away. You can thank Dr. King for that. You can thank all of the black leaders for that. You can thank Reverend Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton for that.
Right.
They sold us out to our oppressor, and our oppressor did what?
Salaki. And all the mighty men.
All the mighty men. Our soldiers, brother. The men that's going to stand up and defend this nation, they carried them away. Keep going.
Of valor.
Keep going.
Even 10,000 captives.
Even what?
10,000 captives.
Oh, brother, they took thousands of us. Thousands of our mighty men. Thousands of our soldiers. Thousands of men of renown.
Right.
Keep going.
And all the craftsmen.
All of the what?
Craftsmen.
What is a craftsman? A craftsman is somebody who works with their hands.
That's right.
A smith, a blacksmith. Somebody that's a craftsman is a carpenter. Somebody that's working with their hands. Somebody building boats and building houses, and some engineer. Somebody that's smart. You got to be smart to be a craftsman.
Right.
And these devils carried them away. They carried away all our smart men, Yarash.
Right.
All of our craftsmen, people who are good with their hands.
Right.
People that can build like Benjamin Banneker, who built DC, who designed DC. architect, somebody, a craftsman, go with their hands. They carried away all our soldiers and mighty men. Keep going.
Come.
And smiths.
And what?
And smiths.
What is that? Smiths is like a blacksmith. What's another smith is it? I knew these ones. I forget. It's a smith. Of course, blacksmith is one, but it's other smiths. It's other trades. Go ahead.
Goldsmiths.
Goldsmiths. And those are people who work with golds.
Right.
And bending metals and putting it in the fire and making you a ring. Making this right here.
Right.
This amount of rock. Some smith had to get the gold, get the metal, and take it and bend it up and take it and put it, heat it in the furnace and get it right. Same with blacksmiths.
Okay.
Your guns, your bullets, all that's made at one time. Your weapons, that's made by blacksmiths. The horseshoes by blacksmiths because they deal with the metal. They bending up metal, put it in fires, hammering it. At one time, that's what we had in our nation, and our oppressor carried them away. Keep going.
Right.
None remained.
None remained. None remained. And this is why I brought up this scripture, right? Because blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians need to understand this thing here.
Right.
Instead of us looking for all of the mighty men, all of our men of renown, all of our educated men, all of men, the black and Hispanic men that they out there, they're doctors and lawyers. Instead of looking for them to come save us, you become that man. You become that man of valor. You become a man of war, a man of renown, a man of respect. You go become a smith. Go learn how to do one of these trades that make $232,000 a year. You're right. Go be a lineman.
Right.
Go to school and become all the engineers possible. Aerospace engineer, mechanical engineer, electrical engineer, biomechanical engineer, biomedical engineer. Go learn how to be a lawyer, a surgeon, a ENT, a ear, nose, and throat doctor.
Right.
And you go learn that, and you come back into this school, man. You come bring all of your trades, all of your smarts, and all of your knowledge from all precious colleges and scholars, and you bring it back to your nation. Don't get carried away, captive, like all of those men of renown did. You come home, man, and you do this work, and you go be a lawyer for your nation, and you go be a doctor for your nation. Go be an engineer for your nation. Don't be an Uncle Tom Sambo sellout like all of these sellouts are today that have money. All of the sellouts that go to college and forget about their people. They go be lawyers for their oppressor, charging $300 an hour for a charge for somebody to take their case. A doctor who won't come to the black neighborhood. They get money, they get that degree, they graduate law school, medical school, and they leave out the ghetto. You have to become that person that doesn't leave the ghetto. You have to become that person that doesn't get carried away captive by your oppressor. You go become a lawyer. Go learn everything. Go learn how to do it. Go learn how to be a diesel mechanic. Go learn how to be an electrician. Go learn how to be a lawyer and a doctor. And you come into the UPK and you go and apply that to your people.
Right.
That way you don't have to look to go vote for some devil, some oppressor to make things better. You don't have to look for LeBron James or Michael Jordan to make things better in the black community. Right. You don't have to go look for some Ben Carson, who is a doctor, who is a renowned doctor across the earth. Right. You don't have to look for those mighty men and those men of renown to make things better in the black community. You make a change and make a difference in our community. Right. You do it by not selling out and forgetting about the people, by obeying the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord. And you do that, brother, and we will have a profitable society again. A profitable society where our women don't go out there on the front lines of America's military to get raped and friendly fired upon. You come be a soldier in this, a man of valor, in this school, and do what the Lord says do and obey the men that the Lord put in front of you and in charge of you. And you learn how to do that, brother. And I mean, you're right, we got a nation again. You got a nation of doctors and lawyers and men of renown that won't sell out, that won't go and just because you give them a little bit of money, they're going to turn on their people. That don't care about the finer things in life, but they care about the welfare of their people. That's the people, and that's the kind of man and woman that we make here in the Israelite School UPK. And you go and you learn how to do it all, trades and all. And you come here and you serve the Lord in the UPK. And with that, I'll pass the class to Precinct Officer Yerushalayim.
ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK. Start at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21. Malachi chapter 3 verses 8 through 10. Ma'ashera means tenth in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to Treasury Department or a teacher. Priest fund. Free will offered for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations would be the Feast of Purim, about the sister Esther. All right, if you are a sister, right, come into the school that day, and you'll truly learn what a woman of God is truly about. All right, it's not in the Christian church. It's not Cardi B. It's not Megan Thee Stallion.
That's right.
But it's in the Bible.
That's right.
The next one is the Passover, April 24th, in Houston, Texas, at the BH Ranch.
That's right.
All right, be there. Get your garments. Get your dresses. Do not miss that event. It's gonna be some good lamb. All right, horseback riding, fishing, and that unleavened bread. I'm telling you. Hopefully, priest and the officer, 5,000 to come at y'all makes his lamb again. It was delicious. You know what I'm saying? So don't miss out. All right, don't miss out. With that, Amayim, Sar Panya Hakwadam, which means turn and face the east. We're going to say the Lord's Prayer. In the Hebrew, Abano, Shabashmaya, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakufka, Daba'ah, Batazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashmaya, Nathanaw, Lakam, Ka, Yawam, Wasalaknaw, Kawawaknaw, Kasalaknaw, Kawawaknaw, Wala'ah, Nabaya'anaw, Banasayawan, Abal, Habashanaw, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wahala, Watapara, like Awalamium, Aman, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. All right. The curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh. King of heaven and earth. And all things living. Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Listen to us now. Right now. Send evils and curses. And punishment and destruction. To the heathen. That speak against us. Thy prophets. The teachers. The princes. The priests. The Israelite brothers. And the school. Send evils and curses. And punishment and destruction. To the heathen. And shake loose the treasure. Of the rich of Israel, that refuse to give to the school, force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary, send evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the Edomites, and the nations, and the drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek, synagogue and armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Egyptology, Aryan Nation, the lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, NASA space program, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street. Open up the internet. And the airwaves. The cable access channels. And the radio channels. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us. Bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your word throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues. Let loose all the plagues. Let loose all the plagues. Cause them to go to and fro.
Cause them to go to and fro.
Through the earth.
Through the earth.
And consume them.
Consume them.
Let the plague. Take the house of the thief.
Take the house of the thief.
And the murderer.
The murderer.
Let your Isupk. Michael and Gabriel. Come down with the flying saucers.
Down with the flying saucers.
And punish all the heathens.
And punish all the heathens.
That come up against us.
That come up against
as
us.
we speak thy word.
As we speak thy word.
Cause it to be known by all.
Cause it to be known by
that
all.
It is.
That it is.
That the angels that have done it.
The angels that have done it.
Cause it to be spread.
Cause it to be spread.
Throughout the media.
Throughout the media.
Throughout the whole world.
Throughout the whole world.
Cause them. To shake at thy coming.
To shake at thy coming.
In the name of Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
Thank you always.
Thank you always.
So be it.
So be it.
Sir, which means turn. With that, we'll give a courteous salute to the teacher, men of Israel. Amadu Shabbat, Amadu, Barak, Yahweh Ba'Ashim, Yahweh Shah B'Kathah,
Yahweh Ba'Ashim, Yahweh Shah B'Kathah,
Yahweh Matah, Sar, which means face to sisters. All right. With that, we'll give a courteous salute to the sisters, men of Israel. Amadu Shabbat, Amadu, Barak, Yahweh Shema, Ba'Ashim, Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Matah. With that, class dismissed.